So Renee Hirst is a chemical engineer from Bengalla. Thanks very much, Renee.
Thank you. Hey guys, so yeah, my name's Renee. I'm a process engineer out at Bengalla Mine. So Bengalla is a majority owned mine by Australian company New Hope Group. We're located about 10 kilometres outside of Muswellbrook, and we produce around 11 million tonnes per annum of saleable coal. So I'm the current process engineer out there. So what I do is very similar to what Jenny just ran you through. All of those pictures and equipment I work with every day. So process engineering. I like to answer the question of what a process engineer does. Jenny's already very much touched on it. Most people don't really understand or know what process engineering is. So if you were to ask my parents, they tell people I wash dirt, which really isn't too far from the truth. If you were to Google it, what process engineers do is design, implement, optimize, control and optimize industrial processes. So anywhere you find an industrial process, you'll probably find a process engineer, and I just do that in the mining space. So I like to think of my job as having two main parts. The first part being control and maintenance of our process. So day to day watching how our process runs, making sure it's running as best and as optimally as possible, troubleshooting when there's problems, things don't always run perfectly all the time. And the other part being to optimize and implement new systems. So Bengalla was first started washing in 1998. Technology's come a very long way in the last 20 years. So part of my role is to implement new technologies and ways of doing things in our wash plant to try and maximize yield, throughput, product quality, just any possible way that we can find to make that process run better. I get to work on and implement in our wash plant. So why I like my role is basically for the same reasons I enjoyed my HSC subjects, which were chemistry, math, physics. I enjoy experimenting and playing with things, and I basically get to do that every day in a big industrial wash plant. So how I ended up working in mining. So I graduated high school in 2014 out at Aberdeen. So despite the fact that I completed high school in a mining town, I didn't have a mining background. Originally from Sydney, my parents didn't work in mining. Naive 16-year-old me understood mining as just haul trucks and dirt. So I was very new to mining when I got on my pathway. Like I said, really enjoyed chemistry and math, so that's what pushed me towards chemical engineering. So I went to uni for 5 years to study it. Once I finished that, I took up the graduate process engineering role at Bengalla, where I've been ever since. And I guess I like my role too because there are just so many opportunities in mining, which is, I think, the main story here. And not just opportunities career-wise, but even within your own organisations. I currently get to do a lot of work in business improvement. I'm the business improvement owner for the CHP and logistics areas on site, so your opportunities are endless even once you're in mining. So how I ended up in this path, so like I said, not a mining background. I really didn't know what I wanted to do going into stage 6. I wasn't set on a mining background. If anything, teenage me wanted to leave Muswellbrook and my parents behind. But what got me on my pathway was scholarships. So I had a few opportunities presented to me in my late years of high school. One of them being the New South Wales Mining Scholarship. So that was popped up. I heard about it on the radio, thought I'd go along and see what it was about, and that was my first real introduction to mining actually. So I got to get up close to a haul truck, have a look, and that was really beneficial experience for me, go to some networking events, and I started to see that there was a lot more to mining than just the trucks and the dirt. By the end of year 12, I still wasn't 100% set on mining, but what really got me there was the Bengalla Engineering Scholarship. So having a chat to one of my teachers, I was telling her about what I wanted to do, and she suggested I go for it. I must admit I ummed and ahed a little bit for a while, wasn't too set on the idea of mining, didn't really understand why a mine site would even want a chemical engineer. But my parents basically said, well, a scholarship like that is the opportunity to answer those questions. So that scholarship actually gave me 3 to 4 months paid vacation work every year. So that gave me the opportunity to go to site every year, put my degree to use and answer the question of what does chemical engineering mean for a mine site. And yeah, I absolutely loved it. I was absolutely shocked my first summer getting out there. I got completely dirty, covered in coal and God knows what. And yeah, it was the best decision I ever made. So I guess my learnings out of that pathway was to explore all the opportunities. You know, I nearly turned down such an amazing experience just because I ummed and ahed and maybe'd that I don't know if I want to go into coal. And I'm so glad that I did. And so many people do that sometimes, is turn things down because they're not sure. I think scholarships and vacation work and all of those sorts of opportunities are the way you answer that question. And the other thing I would go back and say to myself is look outside the box for opportunities. You know, both of those opportunities came to me in kind of unusual ways, you know, just through talking to people who knew about things that were going on. So quite often students I've found get stuck looking for opportunities through, say, university portals and schools and all that sort of stuff. But a lot of industry programs are not advertised in those usual ways. So I would always suggest to kids to go out and look elsewhere for opportunities because you just don't know where you'll find them. And I guess there's a lot more to mining than just the mine. So young me, like I said, thought it was just haul trucks and dirt. There is a whole other side to mining that I didn't realise existed at the time and is such a crucial part to the mining process. Obviously the mine's very important as well, and that extends beyond even process engineering. It takes so many departments, HR, logistics, finance to make a mine site run, that if you're looking for an opportunity, there's a really good chance that mining could offer you a career pathway. So yeah, thank you.